Hello, everyone. I am Ben Johnson, and this is the Perpetual Chess Podcast. Perpetual Chess is a weekly chess interview show with accomplished chess players, authors, personalities, and adult improvers where they discuss their lives, their careers, and share tips about how to improve at chess. For more information, go to perpetualchesspod.com. So without further ado, let's get to the show. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Perpetual Chess. Magnus Carlsen has successfully defended his World Championship title for the 5th time and has ended the match against Grandmaster Jan Nepomniachtchi. I know I said I might not do a bonus pod if the match ended early, but I had the opportunity to interview an absolute legend of the game, Grandmaster Vasyl Ivanchuk, and I can't wait to share it with you all. Also known as Chucky, Vasyl has been an elite player for decades and has been called a genius by none other than Garry Kasparov, among many others. Those familiar with Ivanchuk won't be surprised that our interview has a little bit of everything. We talk some World Championships, but I also couldn't pass up the opportunity to ask him some questions about his own illustrious career. Please be sure to check out his Twitch channel, and if you do, tell him you enjoyed hearing him on the Perpetual Chess Podcast. As always, the timestamp for the interview is in the show notes, but here's a quick rundown of the final game of the 2021 World Championship. So Game 11 was a familiar story. It was decided by a blunder. Jan was white, and it began with double king pawn, with Jan going for an Italian opening instead of the Ruy Lopez. He gave up on trying to crack Magnus's would-be marshal, turned out to be anti-marshal weapons, and went for an Italian. Magnus again went for a relatively rare line, this time with move 7, bishop a7, and he was well prepared enough to mostly avoid trouble, and black had achieved full equality by move 23 when it looked like it might be steering towards a draw, except Nepo made another significant un-Grandmaster-like blunder. As I mentioned in the interview with Grandmaster Ivanchuk, Ivanchuk was streaming without an engine on, and the moment that Nepo played g3, he identified it as a losing move in like milliseconds. And from there, Magnus won somewhat routinely, although he did play with great caution and definitely didn't put Jan away as easily as he might have in a lower pressure game. But it's all over now. Jan remained a good sport about his shortcomings, but we'll definitely have some soul searching to do about what went wrong in this match. And of course, Magnus remains the champion. To me, the story of the match is just how few mistakes Magnus made. He was only in a bit of trouble or potential trouble in games 2, 5, and 6. And those were more for moments than being losing for the entire time. And once he won in game 6, the match took a different tenor, and Magnus never looked back. Magnus said today, and this is a quote, "I think game 6 was excellent. Regardless of the quality of the moves, it was a great fight, and I guess it just decided everything." And then Magnus went on to say that he felt like in some of his earlier World Championship matches, if things had gone slightly differently in some of the early games that ended up being draws, he also felt like there could have been a butterfly effect where there were far more decisive results, as we saw in this match. So Magnus mentioned in the press conference that he feels his strength is that in simple positions, he makes very few mistakes. And making fewer mistakes, again, to me, was the story of this match. Magnus makes it look easy, but it's near impossible to play as accurately as Magnus does. So that's a wrap. After this bonus pod, Perpetual Chess will be moving back towards our regular programming. For newer listeners, the regular programming is a new interview every Tuesday, which might be a day or two late this week as we get recalibrated, but a new interview every Tuesday, a book recap every month or so, which usually comes on a Friday towards the end of the month. We will, of course, have more discussion of the World Championship with upcoming guests, but we'll also be moving back towards broader chess conversations about how to improve your game, about chess history, and all that good stuff. So thanks for listening during the match. If you enjoyed the coverage, you could consider supporting Perpetual Chess via Patreon or PayPal. If you subscribe on Patreon, you can get access to special events like Grandmaster lectures and also access ad-free versions of the podcast and, of course, send in questions for our esteemed guests. So without further ado, let's get you to the interview with legendary Ukrainian Grandmaster Vasyl Ivanchuk after the break. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Perpetual Chess. We are joined by a chess legend this week. He has been #2 in the world on 3 separate occasions. He's revered by his peers for his creative attacking play and his vast opening knowledge. He's won the Linares Super Tournament 3 times, Vasyl Tal Memorial. He was the World Blitz Champion in 2007, World Rapid Champion in 2016, and he has recently been streaming on Twitch, much to my and other chess fans' delights. And as we record, Magnus Carlsen has just wrapped up the World Championship, so we'd love to hear his thoughts and welcome him to the show. Grandmaster Vasyl Ivanchuk, how are you?
Hello, I'm fine, thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much for joining us. So Vasyl, of course, I'd love to hear your thoughts about the World Championship, but my first question just relates to your decision to begin Twitch streaming, because I think a lot of chess fans, you've obviously done many interviews over the years, but you often seem to keep a low profile, but now you're Twitch streaming the games every day. So what inspired you to begin doing that?
Okay, maybe I wanted just try something new in my life, so it was just experiment. So okay, but I'm enjoyed more or less. It was quite funny, and I understand something important for myself with chess, or also with work with auditory.
Yeah, I watched some of your stream today, and I saw that you said you plan to continue to stream even after the World Championship.
Yes, I'm thinking I will prepare some new videos, I think.
That's excellent news. And when I did tune into your stream, I noticed, of course, you're famous for your work ethic in chess, studying chess, sometimes 14-hour days, for your calculation powers. And I noticed you had a very concrete approach to analyzing the games. When you watch chess games generally, do you tend to just dive into variations?
Okay, during last time I'm not training so much, but okay, at least I'm playing online sometimes. I am following chess tournaments, and I am still thinking about chess, and I feel myself that I can create new ideas in chess. I feel myself quite good with this.
Glad to hear it. And do you know what your next tournament will be, Vasyl?
I have no idea, because okay, at the moment I'm not planning to travel because of COVID situation involved. So probably some online tournaments I will play, but I have no concrete plans yet. Probably I will take just a rest before New Year, and then we'll play some online tournaments, but I don't know.
Well, we look forward to seeing you whenever you get out there, and obviously understand the decision. Now, Vasyl, I'm curious to hear your thoughts about the World Championship itself. What did you expect in terms of results, and was there anything in particular that surprised you in how things turned out?
Okay, my prediction was that very tough match, and the score will be 7-5 after 12 games, and I wasn't sure who will be leader after 12 games. And start of match, it was really very tough, and in the first 5 games, it's probably even Jan had more chances than Magnus, although all first 5 games ended draw, but then Magnus won 1 game, and after this, I don't know, okay, it starts a big advantage for him. So Jan started to make many mistakes, which he didn't before. For example, even in last game he played G3. Okay, so
Yeah, I was watching your stream when that move happened. Vasyl, of course, is referring to the blunder in the clinching game, and you immediately knew that it was a mistake. So, a player of Jan's caliber, what do you attribute this sort of uncharacteristic error to, Vasyl?
Okay, I don't know what was the reason of such a primitive mistake. Okay, sometimes it is time trouble, but he wasn't in time trouble. So for such a level, easy to see that G3 is obviously bad because after takes on E3, takes on F4, Queen G4 check. Okay, it's possible not continue this variation because it's clear that that white is in big trouble only. And okay, if it's only way, but white, as I showed, white had many ways to fix draw. Probably Jan, of course, Jan have seen this variation as well. I mean, variation which leads to draw in this position, but probably he was so disappointed that he has only draws, so he collapsed and on emotion played G3 after this. Okay, Magnus also played, he played knight f5, also he could win immediately. E takes f2 and rook d6 as one of my spectators indicated. But okay, after knight f5, Jan still had some chances, but also his position was very, very hard to save.
Yeah, excuse me. Of all of Jan's blunders in the recent games, I did find this one to be kind of the most surprising, just because it just looked so dangerous. Whereas the other moves were kind of simple oversights. This one, your king is clearly going to be wide open. But as you say, maybe he just didn't want to draw and just went for complications. We had a listener question, a Patreon supporter question, Vasyl, relating to, this is from Igor Feinstein, who asked, he said, when Nepo's away from the board, it seems like he's, do you think that he's calculating variations in your mind? And for players of your stature, is being at the board necessary for calculating? And I'm also just curious if generally you were surprised by how infrequently Nepo was at the board during the World Championship.
Okay, in the first 5 games, they both demonstrate that quite good level of calculation. But then, okay, it were mistakes. Probably they were tired already, or big pressure of match. Okay, it's cause of mistakes. But okay, everybody make mistakes, so. Both of them only can explain real what was real problem which disturbed to and prevented to calculate variation is better, even not so difficult variation. I mean.
And Vasyl, when you play classical chess, are you someone who's generally at the board, or do you walk around a fair amount?
Yes, okay, but I want to come back to classical chess because my last game I played already, okay, in 2019 in February, so almost 2 years I'm not playing classical games, so it's pity for me. But okay, many chess players has same problems, so I hope situation involved will improve somehow.
Yeah, I hope so as well. And of course, you're one of the more active players when health circumstances.
Okay, but
yeah. And what's been your approach at home? Have you found the motivation to study a lot, or is it harder when there's no competitions coming up?
Okay, chess is very interesting for me anyway, so always I can do something interesting. But of course, I would prefer to play more.
And of course, you're also known as a keen checkers player. Have you been playing much checkers online or studying checkers, aka droughts, as you've been home, Vasyl?
Yes, I am playing. Yes, but okay. Also, only online tournaments. So okay, I will try to do it better. Yes, it's really interesting for me to feel myself like amateur. So understand that there are many things which I don't know or don't understand well, and try to make some progress if it's still possible.
And what is your approach to working on a game like checkers? Do you generally read books, or are there computer programs? How do you?
Computer programs I'm not using almost like in chess, so I don't like it because it only brings some disorder to my head. So it's too complicated. So I have enough level for analyze myself. Okay, if I understand that position is complicated, really complicated, and there is a lot of tactic, and that it can be some possibilities which I really would miss. So okay, I can turn engine for no more than 5 minutes to see information and immediately quit it. Or even better way to ask somebody of my friends, okay, there is interesting position, please check this with computer and tell me what he suggests.
So you do that for both checkers and chess?
Yes, but in checkers, okay, in checkers, sometimes I can see what is computer's evaluation, but anyway, I don't like do it because unfortunately or fortunately, I want to understand everything what is possible with my own head. Probably it's not so effective always, but okay, it's my choice. My personal choice. So I am not claiming that this is the best choice or something like this. It's my choice.
We are going to take a quick break, and we will be back with more from Grandmaster Vasyl Ivanchuk. And we had another question from a listener relating to which game you prefer. Could you pick a favorite between chess and checkers?
Okay, it's a very different level. My level in checkers. Okay, it's candidate of master. Maybe good candidate of master. Maybe close to master, but not master. But certainly not master yet. Okay, in chess. Okay, I'm a strong grandmaster. I have
Obviously
5 champions. So okay. But still, there are many interesting things in chess for me as well. So.
And when it comes to checkers, do you feel like you're still improving, being that you're kind of less far along on your journey?
I don't know, difficult to say, but I have feelings that I'm looking for way for improvement now in both, in chess, in checkers, and also in life in general. And so I want to understand what I should do to be happy, to be stronger, to feel more harmony and to have more complex life. So I have many questions and not too many answers.
I think a lot of us feel that way, Vasyl. And is there any particular aspect of your life you're looking? You mentioned things outside of games, outside of chess and checkers. Is it like health or mental health, or is there something in particular you're looking to optimize or improve?
I don't know. Probably the most improved now for me it's to improve physical preparation. Totally possible, or maybe self-control, something like this, or maybe to find more stronger motivations than now. Okay, simple. But
How has your
Sorry?
Do you think do you think the motivation will come now when you get back to playing OTB whenever circumstances permit?
Yes, maybe if I will play league tournaments, maybe I will have some matches on tournaments with regularly to play with really strong opponents, like for example to play in Magnus Chess Tour, something like this. It could be good motivation for me.
Yeah, I will be missing you at the World Rapid and Blitz as well, although I certainly, as you say, I understand why you would want to be cautious at this time.
Okay, but I read that it was planned in Kazakhstan, but was cancelled, and now they want to do it in Poland. Is it true or not?
Yeah, it was announced today that it's going to happen on the same dates in Poland, which is an amazing turnaround. So hopefully there are no issues with it. And Vasyl, thinking about world champions, we had a question from a supporter of the podcast, Cody Noble, which is, whenever Magnus's reign ends, who do you think would be the most likely successor to Magnus as world champion?
I don't understand.
Who do you think would be the next world champion after Magnus?
Next world champion? I have no idea who will be next world champion. Okay, but
do you think?
Sorry.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Okay, but we can think about many players, but of course, the biggest chance will have a person who will win candidates tournament. So because he will play much against Magnus directly. Maybe there are other good players, but if they are not in candidate tournaments, okay. For example, okay, I think if I would improve my physical conditions, so I can fight with Magnus, but
yeah.
Okay, I have no big chance to play World Championship match against him because I'm not in candidate tournaments and I have no chance to qualify. So probably I can play just against Magnus in tournament or match, but not World Championship match, of course. So, but okay, it's also interesting. So.
Does it frustrate you that it's particularly hard right now to enter into to make it through the candidate cycle, given the COVID situation?
Yes, it's also okay, but I don't know why. I remember that some years ago I wanted to play in FIDE Grand Prix, and I wrote letters that I want to play. So they responded me, sorry, you are not qualified by rating, but okay, I will not call names, but okay, in the list of participants, I have seen at least 5 players who are much worse than me by rating, and they are playing, okay, me not. Okay, so this is choice of FIDE. I have no special complaints, but it was some chance to qualify.
Oh, okay. So I assumed it was your choice not to play, but that's not the case.
Yes, so probably. Of course, I had chance to play. I had opportunity to play in Sochi in FIDE World Cup, but I had to go there. It's okay. It was my personal choice because of a COVID situation.
Understandable. And out of the participants who are known in the candidates, of course, there are 2 spots remaining to be decided by the Grand Prix. Is there anyone in particular you would tout as the favorite to challenge Magnus next time around?
No, okay, I will just wait. Okay, so if not if when somebody will win, so it will be one more interesting match for Magnus. But now he's winner. My congratulations to him. He played quite well in this match, and he outplayed Jan. Okay, it was tension. Okay. Were many mistakes, but okay, so quite a great score, +4. So, okay, it's big advantage in this match. So, of course, but Jan played well as well, in my opinion, especially in the first part of match. But probably he and his team need to analyze where was mistakes in second part. Probably it was problem with physical preparation. Probably Jan is, as me as well, is too stressful after loss. So after loss, it's extremely difficult to play in good level next games, especially against same opponent as strong as Magnus. So, but okay, it's not easy problem, and many chess players has this problem. I think for Magnus it would be very hard situation as well if he matched that he will lost first game, for example, in game 3, as I remember, it was game 3. He was in quite dangerous situation after the opening. He played b4 and then takes d5, but he made draw, and after this situation improved for him, and he managed to win this match. Okay, so good achievement. So we can admire, but okay, also we can see that even Magnus, even Jan making many mistakes. So chess is very rich game. So for everybody there are big space for improve your levels, and it's nice.
Yeah. And hearing you discuss the details of the game, Vasyl, and I also on your stream today saw you compare today's game to a Karpov-Korchnoi game from 1981. And of course, you're legendary for having memorized all of the games of the first Kasparov-Karpov match. So I was just curious, is that something that you do play through these historical games again and again over time, or is it like you see them once and you remember them?
Okay, so of course I'm not remember these games from first to last move, but okay, I remember opening, I remember important moments, I remember interesting ideas. So, and sometimes, okay, if something interesting for me, I can refresh, see again, analyze more deeply, compare with modern theories. Not only World Championship matches, of course, also just candidates matches or just interesting games from chess history. So, as I know, Magnus doing the same quite regularly, and he explained it. He himself explained it, that this is when, for example, Ilya Levitov asked him if this is useful for chess players. Magnus answered, "Okay, maybe useful, but certainly very interesting," and I totally agree with him.
Huh. And what's your memory like outside of chess? Do you retain facts well? Do you like tend to remember daily details well, like your keys when where you put your keys and stuff like?
Quite good memory. So you can believe that I have quite a good memory. So.
And is it holding up well as you're in your 50s now, Vasyl?
Okay, maybe slightly worse than before, but okay. At least I am not. I have no complaints about my memory.
Okay. And just a couple more questions, if you don't mind, Vasyl. I know I'd like to be respectful of your time. In reading up on you, of course, you were a legendary talent in your early 20s, as marked especially by your breakout win in Linares, and you were touted as a future world champion by the likes of Mikhail Tal, and I know you've had interactions with Tal and Viktor Korchnoi and all these legends. So I'm just curious to hear a couple of your favorite stories of sort of your interactions with the generation that preceded you.
Okay, I don't know which story are you interested in. Of course.
Was there any advice given to you by like a former world champion that you found especially memorable?
Okay, of course, Viktor Korchnoi had very big influence to me. He made many good advices because I worked with him a lot, so and I spoke with Tal. Okay, I have seen Mikhail Tal only a few times. Okay, with Spassky, okay, I had some relation, but okay, mostly I had work and relation with Korchnoi, and it was a big influence for me. Certainly. So he made many good advices for me, and it's still helpful now.
Is there any particular bit that stands out that you could share with our listeners?
For example, he explained, if you lost a game, don't worry, please go to the shop, please buy something pleasant for yourself, and something like this. And
probably good advice for Nepo right now.
Yeah, okay, for Nepo. Okay, but probably, I don't know what to advise to Jan, but okay, there is first question, an obvious question, if he really need my advice. If he needs, for example, he can write me by Skype.
This is true.
So, but without asking, okay, so why I will give him advices if he doesn't need it really, okay. So probably he prefers to be alone now at all, so, and I don't want to disturb him.
Yeah, that's a very fair point. I'm sure he could use some time to recover from this spotlight. And my last question for you, Vasyl, of course, remain a legend to this day, still, one of the top players in your country and in the world. But in your early 20s in particular, like when you won Linares, Dirk Janten Guzendam, when I interviewed him, described an amazing story of like the crowds of kids chanting your name as you walked around in Linares in Spain. Like, how do you think back on that time of sort of rocketing to the elite in chess so quickly, or at least so quickly looking from the outside?
Okay, I don't know, but I still love chess, and I have habit to consider each my new games like some big chance to do something special, at least for myself, for my fans, for my friends also. And this attitude helps me a lot to keep interest in chess.
An inspiring note to end on. So, Vasyl, your Twitch handle is Ivanchuk Chess, correct?
Yes, Ivanchuk Chess, yes.
Okay, and do you have any sense of how frequently you'll be streaming? I'm sure your fans are curious to know.
Yes, I will prepare something new. I don't know what about, probably. probably about my match against Gata.
Oh, wow. That would be great. Yeah.
Okay, I lost with terrible result, but all three games were extremely interesting. Probably I will make some report about this and explain important moments. Although, of course, it's not easy for me because I don't like to lose, and to speak about my losing games, it's not so easy because it's mine. It's not a game of Jan, of Magnus, or anybody else. It's my terrible mistakes, my collapses, and but okay. Anyway, this is also interesting, and okay, I can choose some interesting and extractive games. Also, maybe my match against Firouzja was very interesting. So 5-5 after 10 games, and last game I lost by break in much better position. So because I had illusions that if I would won game 11, I would be better in chess history than Viktor Korchnoi. He also lost decisive game in Baguio in score 5-5. So my dream was improved Korchnoi, but didn't realize it. Although I played quite good and had better position with better time, but okay, so I wasn't so lucky, and also was a stressful match, but objectively, chess part of this match was quite interesting, and maybe I will prepare some material about this as well, but okay, we'll see. Oh, I will choose some of my good games. I will prepare some annotation, or I will not prepare, so I will just choose game and will try to understand.
Well, that's great to hear. I know I said last question, but hearing you mention Firouzja, having played against him and with his recent ascent, what did you think of his recent play, both in the Grand Swiss and
I didn't play against him, so okay, I know, of course, about his successes during last time. My congratulations, of course, but I didn't follow. So, okay, surely because of rating, because of results, it looks like he improved like chess players, probably. As I know, Rustam Kasimjanov helping him now, or probably somebody else. I'm not sure. Probably they. Okay, we'll see, but I have no idea to predict his chess future or something like this. Okay, very promising young player.
Excellent. I think you might have broken some news about Kasimjanov there, but that's very interesting. Well, Vasyl, this has been amazing. Listeners, obviously, follow and subscribe to his Twitch channel. I can't wait hearing you discuss these matches. That would be one of a kind perspective. So, Vasyl, I just want to thank you for taking the time for this interview and for sharing your thoughts with the global chess community.
Okay, so during my Twitch, I also had several questions about different openings. So probably about Pirc with bishop e3, about Sicilian with b4, about e4, c5, knight f3, knight c6, b4.
Yeah, and
very interesting line. Looks crazy a little bit, but not so clear to find refutation. Strangely enough, I'm still trying without engine as usual. But okay, so I want to understand: is it really playable for white, or Black has a way to refute this? Of course, Black has many promising opportunities, but it's also not so easy to if you have a lot of good opportunities, not so easy to choose best of them. And okay, so I had many interesting questions about openings. Okay, so also what about Traxler, Sicilian with B4? Also, what else they asked me? I don't remember. Scotch line bishop c5, knight b3, bishop b6, and okay, several.
Yeah, that's been trendy lately.
Yes, and several else. Probably I will make some report about some of this topic.
Great. And obviously, I know you had, when I looked, it was usually around 100 to a few hundred viewers. But I think that when the World Championship is not going on, I think you'll have more viewers than that, because there were all these legendary teams commentating at the same time during the World Championship.
Okay, maybe there it will be other interesting tournaments and matches in future. So if somebody will invite me to comment them, okay, it's totally possible.
That would be fantastic. Okay, well, thank you, Vasyl. I really appreciate it. This has been quite an honor, and looking forward to seeing all your Twitch streams, and when circumstances permit, to seeing you back out over the board.
Okay, thank you very much. It was a pleasure to meet you, and thanks for conversation.